Welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Job. I'm Ron Worley.
And I'm Josh Fullenweider.
Fuck your job.
Hey, Jobless Legion. We've had a lot of requests on how-to videos on how you actually go about setting up a business and different things to do in a business. So today I'm going to walk you through the basics of setting up a business online. I know for me, when I was in business school, I kept asking myself, well, how do you start a business? Do you just go out and say, hey, world, I'm in business, let's do this? So anyway, today I'm just going to walk you through the basic steps of actually opening up your business so that you're legal. I'm in Colorado, so I'm going to base this on Colorado because I'm familiar with the system, but I'll also show you an alternative if you're in another state or if you live in one state and want to set up business in another state. So here we go. We're going to go to so just navigating to the Colorado Secretary of State website, and Google's pretty nice. It can take you right to the business thing. Let's go right here. So a lot of the Secretary of State does a lot of different things, but they help with all the renewals, filing paperwork and everything for your business. So let's go in here and you'll eventually file a business document. First thing you do is name availability search. This just helps you decide on a name that nobody else has used. So as long as nobody else has it, you can use it. Oh, pop up there. You can see my recent searches here. This was for an axe throwing. I had to file a DBA under one thing. This is another company I had. This was something I was thinking about, but it's too long. So one of the things I like to do now that I've been doing it long enough, is I like to keep my name short. You can file a longer DBA if you want to, but you know, I have this one, Fuel Investments LLC, and I've got another one that's like Bluebird LLC, Investments LLC, and the names get really long. You're going to end up using them quite a bit if the longer you're in business. I already have a long last name, so when I write out checks, it's Fuel Investments LLC, and then signed by Joshua Fullenweider. So it takes a long time, and I just get frustrated with how long it takes. So I like to keep my name short here. We'll go most of the way through it. I'm not quite ready to actually file a business document yet, but I'm doing some research trying to figure out what I should call a publishing company that I'm working on. So I really came into this without a whole lot of ideas on it. We'll just call it 123 Publishing. And you can see here it wants to LLC on there. I like LLCs more than other things because they're simple. So right there, name is available. So I can take that, click here. Takes you to this file a form page. Let me go back a couple of steps. Back on Colorado's main website or main business site for the Secretary of State, you can go straight into file a business document. If you want to file a form to create a new record, and it takes you to the same page. Got a lot of different choices here. LLCs, corporations, and trade names. So a trade name would be kind of like a DBA. So if you are 123 Publishing LLC, but you're doing business as 123 and that's it, or 123 Pub or something short, you can file that. You still need to file your other documents, but the trade name allows you to accept checks and conduct business in that name. So that's handy. So you actually have to do two in that instance. File for an LLC. This takes files for a C corporation. A lot of people are like, well, I really want to file as an S corp. An S corp, it starts as a regular corporation, and you have to make the election with the IRS. So you would still file this paperwork, and then your accountant can walk you through setting up the S corp part of it. Foreign says outside Colorado entities. So a foreign entity doesn't mean it's an entity from another country. This was confusing for me a few years ago when I started doing business in South Carolina. Foreign entities is anything outside of Colorado. So if you're currently in Wyoming but you're expanding to do business in Colorado, you actually need to sign up with Colorado with this foreign entities, because you've already got your LLC in Wyoming, but this allows you to do it in Colorado. Trademarks. Again, if you're wanting to set up a trademark, you can go in there pretty easily. You're most likely not going to touch this. Partnerships, though. You might touch partnerships, especially if you're limited partnerships, limited liability partnerships. Used a lot with lawyers, honestly, set up their structures this way a lot. I don't really like limited partnerships unless you've got two companies entering into the agreement, so that there's still some asset protection, or at least one of the entities is a company, because there's some caveats to it. Cooperatives, you're probably not going to use. These other ones you probably won't use. So what I always use is LLC. So click on that, and it gives you some instructions. It's got to have one of these listed here on it. So again, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, Publishing LLC. It's going to search it again. It's still good. It tells you right here it does cost $50 for state of Colorado to file this document. You're going to go through here. Sorry, my address and everything popped up there. You're going to go through here, fill out your address, or wherever the business is at. So if you've got, don't worry if you don't have an address yet. If you're still negotiating a lease on whatever business you're planning on moving into a place and you don't have that, you can use your home address here. This is strictly for mailing purposes at this point. You can also, when you can change this down the road. When you renew it, you do have to renew your filing annually, so that's every year. So you can change it then, or you can go in at any time, file a new document to update your address. Other companies will use this to mail junk mail to you, honestly. They kind of troll these things. You do need this though, so you do have to fill it out. So where you're located, mailing address if it's different, registered agent name, and registered agent address. So this would be, a registered agent is somebody who is employed to collect mail and receive legal documents on behalf of the company. A lot of times lawyers fill this role. I usually fill this role myself. I'm not too worried about it. You can fill it yourself. There are services out there if you want somebody else to do it. It has to be in the state that you're in, doing business in. So if you're outside of Colorado, you need a registered agent inside of Colorado. At least that's my understanding. So again, there are services that will let you do that for a minimal fee. Most of the time, this is where they send paperwork if you're getting sued. So don't, been doing stuff for 10 years. I've never had anything come to me that way. True name. Oh, make sure you click this one that's saying that registered agent has agreed to be the registered agent. True name, and then below here, true name and mailing address of the person filing the form. So this is you. If you're filling this out, this is you. Fill in your information here. So management. The big question on LLCs is it member managed or member managed? If you are going to hire somebody to manage the entity, you are a manager managed entity. If it's you and the partners are managing it, that's member managed. So all mine are, well, I should say most of mine are member managed. I have used a manager managed one, and that's when I've had an LLC own another LLC, and then I've actually essentially hired myself to be the manager for that. There has to be at least one member of the LLC, and that member can be you or another entity. So if you want to structure your multiple entities, you can do it that way. Additional documents, you can upload. I've only done it occasionally when I've had multiple members with multiple addresses that we've wanted on file. Delayed effective date. Usually I don't want this. If you want to, if you're not planning on being in business for a while, I guess you can delay this. I don't really see a whole lot of benefit in delaying it. I just go ahead and register all mine right away, but you can if you want to. It keeps the name, doesn't start your effective date for 90 days, which I guess when you go to renew it would change when it would renew. I get all my documents electronically, so I always put my email in here. Again, true name and mailing address of individual causing this document to deliver for filing are. So that's you again. And that is, oh, this one is the true name of the person forming the LLC. So that would be you as the person forming the LLC, or somebody else who's forming it. This is who's filling it out. Sorry, I got those. Oh, they're similar, but not quite the same. So you're going, once you get it all filled out, you click submit. It'll send you to a kind of a PDF sample page where you'll verify that it's all correct, and then it'll ask you for payment. So that's the basics of that. I'm not going to go any further with it there because I'm not ready for it. Let's go to how do you get a federal EIN number? Alright, so you can pay for it. I'd skip the ads, go straight to IRS. Apply for Employee Identification Number, EIN. So again, lots of instructions here. Determine if you're eligible. If you've started a business, you're pretty much eligible. Apply online right now. And you'll begin the application. What entity did you set up? So if you're doing, you can get an EIN if you're just a sole proprietor. If we just finish setting up that LLC, we'd go here, click there. It tells you what an LLC is. An LLC is formed by filing articles of organization with the Secretary of State's office. That's what we would have done just right here. All right. How many members? What state are you in? So if you're a single member LLC, you will initially be classified as a disregarded entity for the purposes of filing a federal tax return. So if there's only one member, you don't need to file a separate tax return is what this is telling you. You can just file it on your Schedule E of your tax return. That's kind of nice. That's kind of one of the reasons I really like it. Single member LLCs may not file a partnership return. They don't want to clog up their system. So why do you need an EIN? Here's the reasons for it. We just started a new business, but if you were a sole proprietor and you needed to hire employees, you would have to get an EIN for that. So you could do any of these. Alright, I'm going to stop here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just fill it out. This is you. I'm one of the owners, or if somebody else was filling out for you, you could click here. So you'd fill it out here, then it's going to ask you for addresses, details, and then EIN confirmation. It will actually give you your EIN so you can download it, save it, I always get it that way versus getting it mailed to me. So this is a free service. So Colorado Secretary of State, $50 to file. EIN, free to get. Let's see. So what do you do if you're in one state wanting to file in another state? I know there are some states that have some extra protections. People really like Nevada and Wyoming for filing. But if you're not in those states, you might not be used to setting things up that way. So, mynewcompany.com. I just learned about this one the other day from another YouTuber. So, you can go in here and say, I want to set up an LLC, and I want to set it up, let's say in Wyoming. See pricing and packages. And they will help you create everything. So Wyoming is, they're telling us, costs $102 versus the $50 at Colorado. And then this is their fee for doing it. Some of this stuff you'll notice is pretty much the same as what we were just doing on the other ones. Actually, let's go back and let's change this to Colorado so you can see exactly how the two compare. So there it is, updated with a $50 Colorado state fee. Tells you what all they do. Unlimited name availability searches. Yep, you can do that on the site for free. Prepare and file or articles of organization. That was the $50 that we would have just spent. Prepare personalized organization minutes. This is one thing we did not do. So this one is something outside. This is not something you file. This is minutes that you keep on in your records showing that you are forming the entity. When you hold meetings, you'll need minutes. So this helps you get started with that. Operating agreement. You will need to create an operating agreement that is different than the articles of organization. An operating agreement spells out who the signers are, what the ownership percentages are, all of that. So that is a document that does not get filed, but you will need one of those. This must be directly for them. I guess they could track what is happening on the state website. Same day business processing, that happens on the individual websites as well. This one is nice. Order is audited for compliance and spelling. I actually spelled my address wrong once on one of these when I was filling it out on the Colorado Secretary of State website. So just in one section, it would have been nice. I fixed it a year later when I updated it. So you can call or email these guys. New LLC handbook. This is kind of nice. So if you've never had an LLC, this is a nice little thing. What do you need? What are all the rules of running an LLC? You want to make sure you're keeping your minutes and your operating agreement and all that up to date, because if you don't, you run the risk of the LLC being pierced if it's ever sued, and then the court pursuing you directly. So this could help you. I haven't read this particular LLC handbook, but there are a lot of rules that go into running an LLC. Startup Wizard, free company alerts. So if somebody's, I'm not quite sure what that one does. Let's see. Oh, so annually when you need to fill out a new report, they'll email you. Colorado Secretary of State emails you. That's why you put your address on file. That's kind of nice. Scan documents. Ooh, another document. Here, obtain federal tax ID. So I already kind of showed you how to do that online here. So this one under their basic package would cost $50, but you can do that yourself for free. LLC kit. Okay, more documents. So this will help you get all the documents in order for that state. I think it's a good price given all the documents you're getting. I have most of these documents already, so I don't really need it. Here's the big one though, registered agent service fee. That where I was telling you on the Secretary of State, state where you need somebody in the state to receive documents on your behalf. That is what they are agreeing to do here. $99 a year for that. That's about what I've seen for other ones, so that seems reasonable. Business license compliance package, if there's other licenses you need. Free business tax. Ooh, they've got some free consultations here, so that's kind of nice. Let's see. E-delivery, you can get that free up there anyway. All right, so a decent price, $250 or $249, excuse me. $50 of that goes to the state, $199 for theirs. So anyway, that is that one. I might poke around with this as I start to get to other things or into other states some more, because I do have a couple entities in other states and they were a pain to learn, so I am really curious about utilizing this in the future. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Should have grabbed some water, but that's it. That's all there is. 20 minutes, you can get your business set up and operating and be legal. You'll need the articles of organization with the Secretary of State, and you'll need your EIN in order to set up a bank account and get loans and everything like that. So those are the first two steps you need to do to set up a business. I hope that answers any questions. Good luck today, guys, and thanks for watching. Like, comment, and share.